Today we're talking about autism, but first I need you to hit that subscribe button. Hi, and today we're talking about ASD, Autism Spectrum Disorder. Autism, many people know about autism. It was once called Asperger's disease. And most people want to know, well, how do I get it? Or what's going on with autism? What are the myths about autism? One of the myths is that you're going to be intellectually at a deficit. That's not necessarily true. Or people with autism are all savant. That's not absolutely true. There's less than 10% of the people who have autism or savant. They probably get that idea from the movie Rain Man that they were watching. What causes autism? Well, being born prematurely is one factor. Also, being born to parents who are a lot older or a little older in age. Also, if you have the autism DNA, someone in your family, may have had it prior to you. Low birth weight, a history of maternal viral infections. Those are some of the reasons that you could have autism. Extreme stress during a pregnancy could cause autism. High levels of stress during pregnancy are also connected with autism in children. So you got to keep that stress down. Breathe in, breathe out. We call that laugh therapy. Autism can affect any family, any race, any color, any nationality, any religion, any group. Autism does not differentiate where it goes. And it's on a rise, as we say. During the past 15 years, the rate of children diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder has grown from affecting 1 in 166. This was in 204 statistics, to now it affects 1 in 54 children. Boys are 4 times as likely to get autism than girls. Autism does not discriminate, and it goes across all racial groups. But the groups that are affected probably the most are the ones in communities that are underserved, and those are the Black and the Latino families, because their children tend not to get diagnosed early enough. The funding's just not there. The insurance just isn't there. Maybe it's the trust or whatever. But when they don't get diagnosed early, they're not able to receive some training and some schooling to help them up that mountain. It's a journey. So they need a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of positive reinforcement, and a lot of schooling. And when they don't get that, they fall further and further behind. So minorities, when it comes to autism, suffer a great deal when it comes to education and services. How can you tell if your child has autism? First, you need to have them diagnosed, but how would you know if you need to have them diagnosed? Well, here's some of the signs that you could tell. If your child is not responding to their name by 9 months of age, you're calling, hey, little Brian, little Brian's not answering. You might want to check to see if he has autism, or if they're avoiding eye contact or not smiling when you smile at them. There's a social smile that kids get when they're about 2 or 3 months, where they actually smile back at you, like, hey, you can tell that they're smiling with you and at you. And that's called a social smile. If they get upset over things they don't like taste or smells or sound, repetitive movements like flapping of the hands, flicking of the fingers, or rocking back and forth, not talking as much as the other children, does not show facial expression like happy, sad, few gestures by the 12th month of age, waving and goodbye, does not share interest with others by 15 months. Those are some signs that your child might need to be diagnosed for autism. Your child does not point to show something of interest by 18 months, does not notice when others are hurt or upset by 24 months, does not notice other children and join them in play by 36 months, does not pretend to be something else like a teacher or a superhero doing play in the first 48 months. We call that pretend play. You know, like kids will pretend to shave or pretend to drive a car. They're emulating or imitating their parents. They do not sing, dance, or act for you in the first 60 months of age. 60 months. I went to public school. That's 12, 20. Now you get what I'm saying. But those are some of the signs that you might need to have your child diagnosed for autism. And then I hear at some points there's a waiting list, even if you get them diagnosed or to have your child diagnosed. So it's something you need to get on top of ASAP. Is there a cure for autism? Well, there is no cure for autism spectrum disorder. However, early and intense intervention early on is the best thing that you can do, is start teaching and sharing with them early on so that they can be people with autism can take care of themselves. I heard that autism was caused by shots and vaccines. Is that true? Well, let's see. There's no evidence that childhood vaccination causes autism, and in 1998, studies linking autism with vaccines has since been retracted. They've got rid of that study. It was not true. So people believe what they want to believe, and I know a lot of people don't want to take shots, and they believe that. But autism is something that is there. It's just there, and we have to learn to help the family members with autism and also help the people that have autism. Now, one of the things that troubles me is when it comes to the school system. Everybody keeps dumping everything on a school teacher. They want them to understand evidence-based testing, you know, and be trained in ABA, so that they can work with students with autism. Whereas I propose that you hire behavioral technicians in the school to work with the kids that have autism, so each teacher can have some assistance so that they can concentrate on what they do best, and that's teaching. And you can let the behavioral technicians work with the kids with autism along with her in her class. And that way, you just can't expect a teacher to know this, know that, know this, know that. That's where we get burnout. Burn out. You don't want to burn your teachers out. And you have to quit passing the buck when it comes to our children out here with autism. That's about enough for today on autism. We're just talking about it. We'll get back to it a little later. But I hope you enjoyed the information that we shared. And I hope you also enjoyed me on the radio. So continue listening to me on the radio out there in Texas. I'm your mental health laugh coach. We'll see you next trip. Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe.